6. Brett Maher looked good for about 42 of it, and then doink.
This is the type of start you had to this game, so you knew what the rest of the day might look like for the Dallas Cowboys.
Later in the first, Dak looking for Randall Cobb. Should have had it. Ball dropped, but hold on. We got a flag on the play. Ryan Clark, NFL expert, I defy you to show me the tripping here.
Listen, I don't know that there is tripping. This is a guy that's being bull rushed. His leg flares out. Terrible call by the referee.
So the Cowboys backed up. They have to punt, and there is Matthew Slater, the 7-time Pro Bowler.
Listen, the referees had nothing to do with this. If there's one guy to block, it's Matthew Slater, the Pro Bowler. They didn't execute, and he comes through like he always does.
Jerry Jones knows who's to blame for that one.
To me, special teams is 100% coaching. It's 100% coaching.
He repeated it for emphasis. Second play of the ensuing drive. N'Keal Harry, first-round pick, first touchdown of his career. Not an easy catch.
Hey, he was excited about the Arizona State win over Oregon.
Yes.
Comes in, gets his first TD catch.
And that would be the only touchdown of this game. Tom Brady goes over and says, way to go, young fella. Fourth quarter now. Cowboys down 7. Prescott looking for Cobb again, and this time he's going to find him, and Cobb takes off. Biggest play of the game. Devin McCourty chases him down, punches it out. Cobb catches it with the right hand.
Hey, the luck of the bounce right there for the Dallas Cowboys, but that was a great throw by Dak and finished by Cobb.
Now on a 3rd and 7 from the 11, Dak scrambling, looking for Blake Jarwin, who can't get the feet down.
This is great hustle by Patrick Chung. He's able to push him out of the back of the end zone, and this led to a field goal that will be questioned.
Yes, controversy went for a field goal down 7, then 2 minutes to go. More controversy. Cowboys with the ball, 3 timeouts. The pass to Zeke, first down, but there's another flag, and there's another tripping call. And our NFL rules analyst, John Perry, says they missed it again.
Both tripping calls in that Dallas game. Incorrect calls. The defender has a strong bull rush in both cases, gets the blocker off balance, and there is no intentional or overt act to lift the leg by the blocker to create the tripping call.
Monster call. So instead of a first down, it's now 4th and 11. It looks like Amari Cooper's got his first catch of the game, but they would review it, and Tom Brady knows the call. It goes through the forearms, gonna ding off the ground, no catch, correctly overturned. The Patriots win it 13-9 to go to 10-1 on the year. 17 straight season with double-digit wins. As for the Cowboys, well, eventually you got to beat somebody good to go anywhere, and Dallas has yet to do that. It's been the offense that has really struggled in games that the Cowboys have played winning teams. They're 0-4, scoring fewer than 17 points per. The Cowboys also rank second to last in time of possession and average the 2nd most turnovers per game against winning teams. Jerry is none too pleased with the product.
We've got a long way to go. And today and a couple of these other games, with the makeup of this team, I shouldn't be this frustrated. A significant setback for our team. We needed this win. We needed to win against an opponent like this. We haven't had them, and consequently, we're very aware of that. And so we dig a hole that we've got to really have a challenge as we look at the rest of the schedule. I don't think there's a game that a coaching staff has areas that it couldn't do better in. And I just don't like it that we've got so many as I'm standing here tonight.
All right, so special teams is 100% coaching, significant setback. RC, what's your reaction to Jerry Jones's post-game comments about his coaching staff?
You know, normally when you ask Jerry Jones post-game about this coaching staff or Jason Garrett's job, he's a guy who's really positive, a guy who's looking for a reason to keep Jason Garrett around and this coaching staff. That has changed. Jerry Jones believes that he put this team together and this roster together to win the Super Bowl right now. That's why Ezekiel Elliott has $90 million. La'el Collins has a new deal. Jalen Smith. And it's not working out. When you go on the road and you lose a game like this, when you go to MetLife and you're blown out and you have to come back against the New York Jets, that isn't saying that you're a team that's trying to win the NFC or contend for an NFC championship and play in a Super Bowl. And that's what Jason Garrett had to do this year to keep his job. So the writing's on the wall. Jerry Jones seems to have had enough. And if something doesn't change down the stretch here, Jason Garrett's out and he will be breaking the bank for Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, that is the narrative this morning, that this is it for one Jason Garrett. Short week for Dallas. They host the 8-3 Bills on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, stay with me, 49ers with a historic performance against Aaron Rodgers last night. It was a rough night for Aaron Rodgers, to say the least. So again, 49ers hosting Rodgers and the Packers Sunday Night Football. Rodgers drops back and tries to escape, but what happens here, RC?
Aaron Rodgers all night. They punched the ball out. It's a scoop and almost a score for Nick Bosa. One more play, and they got it in.
As you can see right there. So we got Eric Armstead. He goes right past the light and sacks Rodgers now again. He can't, it's a tough night for him. And I felt like he was saying to himself, we can do better. So we're talking about Alex Light. Nothing. He's out, not doing anything. Pass him, sacks Rodgers. Armstead also had 2 sacks on the night, RC.
Yeah, this is a great twist stunt. They get to the outside. They don't get past the quarterback. Huge play for this front 7 of the 49ers.
The 49ers front 7 is legit, is it not? Is it the best defense? We're saying that it's the Patriots, but isn't it them?
I mean, right now, they are on a record-setting pace for passing yards, and it's because of this front and the way they've improved on the back end. But Kyle Shanahan dialing up plays like this is why this team has a chance to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
So Kittle's back. He's looking good. 61 yards for the touchdowns. 49ers now lead 30-8. That's pretty embarrassing. So let's talk to Kittle.
We've been running that since like week 1, and I have to run it like 2 or 3 times a week. That's like a 50-yard route every single time. So it's pretty, I'm just like, hey, Kyle, like, relax. Like, I'm a tight end. Jimmy gave me a perfect ball, and I had to unhitch the trailer to outrun a couple guys.
All right, so there you go. Rodgers finishes with only 104 passing yards. The 49ers dominate 37-8. How do you feel, Raj?
I think every loss is a test, but I think we have the leadership in this locker room. It kind of surfaced there in some post-game remarks by some of the guys. I'm not going to get into who said what, but definitely encouraging hearing some of those voices.
We're just the punching bag that people come punch on, you know. But we don't worry about the outside noise, as we talked about before these rooms were filled, and it was only 6 or 7 of us, and the locals and a few people. But at the end of the day, we understood what kind of team we have, and we don't worry about the opponent.
They do have a tough schedule. That's what he was referring to there. But he manages to keep the chip on the shoulder, doesn't he? Even though they're so good.
He's finding a way.
Yes, it's not
Rich is
easy.
definitely manufacturing that chip.
Exactly. No one respects it.
Yeah.
We respect them because of what they did to Aaron Rodgers. 104 yards passing, as Kerry said, fewest of his career.
Yeah.
How does this Niners defense, is it just pressure? What do they do?
Listen, it's not just pressure. The way that Coach Salah is drawing up defenses, he's allowing people to do what they're good at. They rush up front. On the back end, they play cover 3 and cover 1, making you have to figure out how you can make plays. But this is more about the Green Bay Packers and their inability to make adjustments. We saw the same thing when they went out to Los Angeles a few weeks ago, and they were blown out by the Chargers and the other Bosa brother. They haven't found ways to create offense when it's not just Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers, showing that MVP stuff. And so right now, Matt LaFleur has to figure out who this team is going to run through. Is it going to be Aaron Rodgers, or is it going to be Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams? Because anytime they have adversity or they get into trouble, they're trying to lean on 12. And I believe schematically, Matt LaFleur is going to have to do more for this team to compete as they get into the playoff run.
Packers are now 0 for Bosa, aren't they?
I actually really like that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, hey,
Feel free to use that
I
on
see you
NFL
working.
Live. Okay, I'm doing what I can. Packers now tied with the Vikings atop the
Either team, but we'll get right to it. Third quarter, Ryan. Saints leading 24-18, facing a 1st and goal on the 3. Breeze connects with Thomas, and that's pretty easy, right?
Michael Thomas is the best wide receiver in the NFL right now. Great move on Bradbury. Easy throw for Drew Brees.
Fourth quarter, Kyle Allen, it's his turn. He finds DJ Moore. Now, he does this one pretty well. What do you feel about Kyle Allen? He's no Cam.
Kyle Allen had a bad outing last week, goes into the Superdome and makes huge plays for this team. They may have found their quarterback.
Oh, okay. Game tied at 31. Allen throws to Jarius Wright, but incomplete. He's looking for the flag. Panthers would challenge for a PI. What about this challenge? How do you feel about it?
You know what? It's an obvious PI. It's something that you have to call. I just didn't think that they'd actually do it to the Saints again.
Yeah, I know, it works in reverse. Meanwhile, same drive, Panthers now facing 3rd and goal. Allen sacked by Davenport. Panthers would go for a field goal, and, well, I don't know. Is it the win? I don't know. What happened here?
It wasn't the win. It was Davenport jumping over the line. They actually threw the flag here and had to pull it back because I was thinking, no way they do this to the Saints.
All right, Brees throws to Thomas, 24-yard gain here. Again, that's just real easy, and that's all he really wanted because they then would kick, and then the kick would be good. I'm already letting you all know that. Saints win 34-31. Kyle Allen clearly upset. Drew Brees excited. They eke out this win. They would be the Saints. Let's talk to the coach about it.
It wasn't our best game, and by far it wasn't their best game, and quite honestly, it wasn't New York's best game, and so it is what it is.
All right, RC, so Saints escape with the win. They go on to 9-2. Ryan, what level, when you watch this game, what level of concern do you have with the team right now that is known as the Saints?
Yeah, like you don't have a level of concern as in they're not playing well enough to win, but I thought that this team would take another step once Drew Brees returned, and they really haven't. I expected them to be separating themselves from the NFC, and they haven't been able to do that. It hasn't been the same type of physicality you watched them play with Latavius Murray. And other than Michael Thomas, they haven't found a playmaker on the outside to help Drew Brees. Also defensively, now losing Marshawn Lattimore, we've seen them give up bigger plays to the Atlanta Falcons, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now yesterday to Kyle Allen and the Carolina Panthers. And when you look down the line on December 8th, the San Francisco 49ers are going to march into the Superdome, and we're going to find out a lot about this team. They have to be prepared because they want the playoffs to have to go through New Orleans.
All right, so Saints nonetheless can clinch the NFC South with a win on Thanksgiving night at Falcons. For more on NFC contenders, Ryan, you're going to hang around, and then I'm going to send it over to D. Leasy.
Okie dokie. Seahawks and Eagles in Philly. There will be booing. Russell Wilson and Carson Wentz coming on out. And let's pick it up first quarter. Wentz just completely airmails this ball to Miles Sanders. I mean, that wasn't even close.
Yeah, when you watch a throw like that, it's something that you can't explain. I need one of these great quarterback coaches to tutor me up a little bit.
Russell Wilson actually missed a guy wide open in the end zone himself, but he didn't miss here. He's got Malik Turner.
This is a great catch, a great play call by the Seattle Seahawks. Execution by Russell Wilson, MVP caliber touchdown throw.
Trouble with the handoff here. Play blown up by Shaquem Griffin. There goes Quentin Jefferson, rumbling. And finally being hauled down.
You can only hope to contain him with the pitch. Listen, we don't like big men to get the ball sometimes because they do crazy things, but boy, is it fun to watch.
It sure is. We're going to do a lot with the big men later in Coast to Coast. You see Carson Wentz left with, it looked like his shoulder was hanging. Turns out he goes to the tunnel with a problem with his hand. We do have an update on that in just a second. To the fourth quarter we go. Rashad Penny hits a hole, and Ronald Darby, not much of an effort on this tackle.
This is the best, worst run of the year. He ran away from a guy that wasn't going to catch him into a guy that could catch him, and then he ran that dude over. That's the type of football I like to watch.
I think when you're tackling, you're allowed to use your arms, but I'm not sure if Ronald Darby is keen on that. And then Carson Wentz picked by Trey Flowers. He was picked twice, fumbled twice. Seahawks win 17-9. There was booing, indeed, in Philadelphia. No Nelson Aguilar, no Alshon Jeffrey. That makes things tough. Philly has gone 5 straight weeks without a receiver touchdown from their wideouts, tied for the longest active streak in the league, and Wentz has struggled to connect with his wideouts all season. Averages just over 6 yards per attempt. Targeting wide receivers, last among 34 qualified quarterbacks. I said we have an update on Carson Wentz. We have found out that it's just a bruised hand on his throwing hand. He's good to practice this week against Miami. I said there no Aguilar, no Jeffrey, no Sean Jackson, so he's missing his receivers.
Yes.
And he's missing his receivers. He's throwing bad passes.
Dave, you are doing
I'm having a good day
today.
What's going on with Carson Wentz?
You know what's crazy? You could take all of the receivers that are playing or have played for the Philadelphia Eagles right now and trade them all for Michael Thomas, and you'd be better with that one dude on the field. Carson Wentz hasn't had his weapons. You go back to the first week against Washington when he had Deshaun Jackson. This team looked totally different, but he hasn't had that. And now he's starting to press a little bit. He's trying to do too much. And so looking down the road, they have a favorable schedule. But with the way that Carson Wentz is playing, you don't know if this team can find ways to win games. And there's a huge thing missing from the Philadelphia Eagles this year in their playoff run. That huge thing